what does health equity mean for you and how we can achieve health equity?
Good question. You know, when we see a lot of people dying in COVID over the last year, many of them have died not just because of the virus, but because they had unmanaged underlying conditions, because they haven't had access to adequate healthcare for years. Health equity is based on the fundamental principle in WHO's constitution that every single human being on this planet has a fundamental right to health. That's not just health care. That's a fundamental right to health by having adequate nutrition, a fundamental right to health by not having to live in fear, a fundamental right to health by having access to healthcare when you do get sick, a fundamental right to health by having access to immunization to stop you becoming sick. Equity isn't about pure equality, it's about ensuring that those most at risk, those who are most vulnerable, have access to basic, essential healthcare that is life-saving, life-preserving and health-preserving. And it's not right now. The single greatest asset we have as a society is our health, not as a cost, not as something we pay for, and something that's a commodity. Health is not a commodity. Healthcare is not a commodity to be sold and traded to the highest bidder. We have to come back to that basic principle of human dignity. The dignity not to be hungry, the dignity not to be unwell and not have access to care, the dignity to have basic human rights and not be afraid of the very government that's supposed to serve you. All of those things.
When I think of health equity, I think access. The word access comes to mind in that sense that it needs to be accessible. It needs to be available, not based on where you live or how wealthy you are or what nationality you are or ethnicity or who you love. Unfortunately, it is. And I think this pandemic has exposed these inequities that have existed for far too long and has grotesquely exacerbated a problem that was already there. The people that are dying around the world is not even either. We see differences by age, but we see massive differences by ethnicity, by different populations of where they live because of access to healthcare.